And hello, how are you? I am Nikita.
And I am Will.
And what is this?
This is Let It Make Sense podcast.
Where we try to make sense. Where am I supposed to be looking? Okay. Where we try to make sense uh,
All the foolishness.
that happens in our world. So thanks for watching. We are the live on the local Facebook and the local YouTube.
Yes.
So be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Don't be shy about leaving comments. And yeah, remember that in the comment section that you can disagree without being disrespectful. All right now.
I have to figure out how to get the local X.
Sign into the local X.
Yeah.
Okay.
X. That's a issue right there. What is this X?
Unknown.
Yeah, I
All
know.
right. So
We had names
Bob,
called unknown.
Mr. Malcolm. I don't know.
Just keep taking from
So
us.
before we begin, of course, we've got to do our sponsorship. Who are we being sponsored by today?
Same people always supposed to buy. Say how you feel when you know it's real.
So today we are being sponsored by Say How You Feel Custom T-shirts. You can follow them on the local Facebook, the local Instagram, the local Twitter, the local Twitter. I was gonna say TikTok, the local TikTok. Say How You Feel. They make custom T-shirts, mugs,
Stop. They make the shirts we got on.
yeah, socks, mugs, puzzles, kids attire, adults. Did I say T-shirts? Hoodies, sweaters, whole outfits, all the things. Hats, custom decals. So if you small decals. So if
Big
to,
decals?
big decals too. So if you are interested in any of those things, then inbox them on the local Facebook, TikTok, Twitterus, and or you can email them at I'm sorry, or the X, or you can email them at say how you feel one. That is the number one. So say how you feel one at gmail.com. All right now.
Gmail.
Today, what are we going to be talking about, Supervisor?
We're talking about the foolery, the issue, the unnecessary, just the dumb stuff that is our government and our judicial system. This young lady, if you read the title, son, what is her name?
It may be in the article, but
Yeah.
this article is from the local CNN.com. It was published yesterday. Mother of 6-year-old who shot his teacher.
Deja Taylor.
There you go. Pleads guilty to state charge of felony child neglect, and that delineation of state charge is important. We'll talk about that. This is the young lady in question, I guess you could say. She is the mother of the 6-year-old. I remember hearing about this story several months ago.
Yeah, when it happened. Yeah,
when it happened about the 6-year-old taking the gun to school. He shot the teacher in the hand. You know, she was able to get all the kids out of the classroom, so no one else got hurt. And then
it was just a hand shot.
Yeah. She didn't die.
Well, I know she didn't die.
She shielded the kids, but I think she got shot in the hand. But
I thought it was a belly shot or something.
Now it's come, unless I'm wrong, or maybe in this article, but yeah, she got shot in the hand. And now it has come back around because mom was arrested and she was charged, as it says, with felony child neglect. So you can go to CNN.com or Google this yourself to find the article. But what happened was is that mom had a gun that she kept in her purse with the safety on top of her dresser. 6-year-old, he's in the first grade, 6 years old. He went and climbed mom's dresser to get the gun, to take said gun to school. So when they interviewed the young man and asked him why he took the gun to school, why he had the gun, he says, and quote, this is from the article, "My mom had that gun. I stole it because I needed to shoot my teacher." Let's get that down. No, thank you. He said this after the shooting, authorities claimed during a statement of facts in court on Tuesday. Taylor purchased the gun and kept it on the top shelf of her bedroom closet, secured by a trigger lock. Her attorney, James Ellison, told CNN in January, but in their search of Taylor's residence, authorities found no trigger lock and no key to a trigger lock, prosecutors said in court Tuesday. The 6-year-old stood on a dresser drawer and took the gun from Taylor's purse, they said. He brought the gun to school in his backpack, police said at the time. The boy had been playing with the gun at his grandmother's and said he wanted to go to a shooting range, authorities said. This is a 6-year-old. The felony child neglect charge has a maximum statutory sentence of 5 years in prison. However, per a plea agreement, prosecutors have said they will not seek a punishment beyond the sentencing guidelines of 6 months. Judge Chris Papel said he reserves the right to sentence outside that recommendation. As part of a plea deal, Taylor previously pleaded guilty to federal gun charges. Here's the reason why it specifically says state in the title of the article, the headline of the article. So she pleaded guilty to federal gun charges. Sentencing on those charges will take place on October 18th. Now, they don't tell, it doesn't look like in this article, they tell you why. Oh my gosh, and the little boy is with his great grandfather.
Will not be.
So he won't be criminally charged. He has extreme emotional issues and is in therapy and showing improvement. Ellison previously told CNN. Taylor has no criminal record and has cooperated with authorities since the shooting. Ellison said in an earlier statement, Taylor turned herself into police in April after the filing of state charges and released after posting a $5,000 bond. So they don't tell you in this article why she's facing federal charges. But before we get into that, do you want to just address
one thing I want to look at is we just watched that movie, Denzel's movie. The Esquire joint. What was that?
Roman. Oh, what is it?
Roman something.
I can't remember.
He played. Look it up. He played a lawyer, and this big brief that he was working on, and basically what he was talking about, something he was working on as a side project, and it dealt with him trying to get people better representation and fixing the court system. Because reading this, I brought that movie to remembrance because I noticed that
Roman J. Israel Esquire.
That's right, and she took a plea deal, and that was the whole basis of it. People getting these weak cases because the judge, like you said, the judge still reserves the right. No, you don't reserve the right. Nothing.
The judge shouldn't. After that's the.
I made a plea deal. That's the deal.
If the state, which is the district attorney's office, if the state has the ability to cut deals with defendants, the judge should not then be able to go back and ratify and terminate that deal and just do whatever they want to do. They should not. That is not justice. No. That is not true justice, because the role of a judge is just to be that impartial body. Well, if the state has done their thing and the prosecution has done their thing and the defense has done their thing, they've come up with a deal, they've agreed to it, that impartial body should not then be able to come in and show partiality, right? Because no one actually asked you for your opinion. At this point, we're just asking you to do your ruling and sign. That's it.
Yep. I'm just asking you to sign.
Right. And that is not, because there is no ruling. You're signing off on it.
That's it.
And they should not be able to go back and do anything more than what the prosecution has said. She does not deserve to have 5 years in prison for what?
Because she deserves the 6 months.
She doesn't deserve the 6 months because your child was bad as hell. And sorry, but I mean, because your child decided. First of all, you're sending her to prison for 6 months, but he was playing with a gun in his grandmama's house. Y'all, why were y'all letting him play with a gun? Why were you? That's not a gun. Is not a toy. Was it a real gun or a fake gun? They didn't say in the article, but. So you let him play with the gun. He knew his mom had a gun, and then he just took it upon himself to take it to school. But outside of all of that, and somebody may say this girl is crazy, but whatever. Why did the 6-year-old feel like he needed to shoot his teacher? Can we address that? Can we address the fact that a 6-year-old got it in his head that the teacher did something that was just so devastating to him that he felt the only way to rectify the situation was to shoot her? The thing about it is that there's more going on here than just the little boy got the gun out of his mama purse and went to shoot and went to school and shot the teacher. It's more than just that.
Yep.
So if you look at the news footage, what you'll notice is that there are a lot of African Americans coming out of this school. And there are a few white people, and I'm not trying to judge anybody or anything, but just based off the fact that there's a lot of African Americans coming out of the school and a few white people that came out, I'm going to presume, and if I'm wrong and y'all know more about it than I do, then please correct me. I'm going to presume this is an inner city school that is predominantly Black, and the few white people that do go to the school are economically disadvantaged. Now, let me say this, because I'm not stereotyping Black people in the inner city, saying everybody's economically disadvantaged. But if they had the money to go live in Brentwood, they probably would be there.
Yep.
Or whatever their upper echelon or upper whatever neighborhood is. And again, that does not mean anything, because we have an area of town here where we live that used to be very, what's the word I'm looking for? How do you say this?
Uppity?
No.
Okay, no. You were saying,
no.
No, you talking about the nation.
You've been here long enough. Yes.
Yeah.
Long enough to know.
Nations. Okay, I got wait for that.
Okay.
I got it.
Okay. Go ahead.
Think trailer park with houses. I'm just gonna say it.
I was trying not to say that. But yes,
I'm gonna say it. And then you put your hands up.
It's not like that anymore, right? Because of gentrification.
Yeah.
So it's not like that anymore. But the point of what I'm saying,
how you gentrify would look like you? I'm just saying.
I mean, that's what I'm calling it. I don't know what they call it, but I call it gentrification. So
I think they got a pay
say is that it's something going on now.
No. Here's my issue, though. I'm gonna be honest with you. We were talking about this morning.
Yes.
Explain to me how this baby finna do 6 months in the penitentiary because her son.
I haven't got to that yet.
Okay, as long as you got
that yet. I want to say.
Yeah. Because I have an issue with that.
So we got the 6-year-old took the gun. However he got it. They feel like it's child neglect because the mama didn't have it secured, which I understand that.
Yeah,
okay.
Right.
I still don't think she should spend 6 months.
I don't think she should spend a day in jail.
In prison. This ain't jail.
Penitentiary.
They send her to prison.
She might won't get classified.
Oh, okay. It didn't say probation.
No. But I'm saying she might go to county jail for 6 months.
Okay.
Because they usually will not send a person because it costs more to transport them.
Oh, okay. Either way it goes, she's gonna be incarcerated for 6 months.
It's just like R.P. Lil Sody. He was fighting the case, and rather than they violated him for a year, but rather than sending him to the penitentiary, have to get all of that is just going to take the time of the county.
So at any rate, she's gonna be incarcerated for 6 months because the little boy got the gun. Okay, which I think is terrible. And the teacher.
This is no slight to the teacher.
She didn't die again. She got shot in the head. That's traumatic for her. It's traumatic for the other students. It's traumatic
especially if she went to school to teach.
The administration, all this stuff. So it doesn't matter that it was an inner city school or anything like that. However, again, there's something there. The fact that the little boy felt like he needed to shoot the teacher, that needs to be addressed on whatever level it needs to be addressed. But that's that.
Yeah.
So what we talked about this morning is the unbalance between how these cases are being handled. Now, I understand that this is in Virginia, so it's on the East Coast. But the case that we talked about is what happened in Minneapolis when the Black Lives Matter.
Yeah.
The young man who had just turned 18.
Was he 18?
No, he was 17. He was 17.
Not 18.
Because he didn't buy the AR-15. His mother bought him an AR-15. She then drove him across state lines to intentionally go to a Black Lives Matter protest. He shoots into the crowd, and I believe he injures. He killed somebody,
and it was injured 2 people.
They put him on trial. They cleared him of the charges, and then you see him shaking hands with the U.S. Congress members, from his state. And the article said that they were talking about him being a senator in the future.
Yeah. Make it make sense. I'm not understanding. I'm tired of, like for real, I'm tired of
what?
That movie, they give us these BS deals. Because she couldn't, let's just be honest. There's no way she took this to trial. She'd have took this to trial. She was going to jail.
Right. She would
have for a lot longer. Let's just be honest.
That's why
you could have, and the movie talks about how they scare us into taking these deals.
Right.
And I'm saying us specifically because they're watching to look like us. And you're talking to somebody that's them. And they was pretty much saying the reason why he wanted to get this it's on the book.
Let's just put it on the table, and you can feel about it how you feel about it. African Americans and poor African Americans, brown people and poor white people. That's what you're gonna say, because that's who gets affected.
Yeah, because
it's just that the poor white people do not make up enough noise, because I don't know why. Because if I was you, I would.
Yeah.
Because they get the same treatment
as
that African Americans do, no matter what their economic situation is.
Yep. Yeah. Okay, and it doesn't make sense that we get bullied into taking these plea deals and into sitting around. Oh, okay. Well, I remember I had got a case. The case was like 5 years old. They didn't have a victim. They didn't have no witnesses. They had nothing. Oh, we're gonna go ahead and give you 6 months probation. You lied to yourself. You didn't got a victim. We finally settled on retiring it. What that means is, if you don't know, in the state of Tennessee, they retire a case, meaning that if you do anything like that again, they can pull it back up and use it against you. But because I was never one of them guys who, if I did break the law, I still wasn't getting caught. If I couldn't get away with it, I wouldn't do it. But bully. But it's that thing of, they wanted me to take a plea deal again, and it shows that, he just, and they were handing out back then. I was in court. They had out 1129s for everything. Hey, you got 1129. You got 1129. And if you don't know 1129, it's 11 months, 29 days. You're on probation. I'm not. And I don't get me wrong. I wasn't worried about going out there getting in trouble. But now I got this on my record. You lied to yourself. I'm not going to let you put that on my record.
You don't. Oh my gosh.
But they do this to us like we are just, let's just get them out of face. And then this is why you see half of our children out here.
You're not trying to get her out of your face, because you talking about the judge talking about, see if that's what. Basically, you saying you'll let them know that's really what you gonna do. But no,
you took a deal.
Then you should. Oh my gosh.
Then why? Then I don't want to take the deal. You can give me what you want. If you can give me what you want, let's just take it to trial. Then let's just go.
But that's just like, tell me her name in LA.
What's her name? You talking about oh my God, she was killed over. No, I can find out she was killed over the orange juice. Latanya, right? Was it Latanya?
But he's gonna look up her name. But back in the 90s, the young lady, it was around the time of the riots. Right?
Yep, it was just before the riots.
Just before the riots in LA over the it was over the Rodney King situation, right? So it's 92. So right before that happened, a young African American young lady got shot in the head, I believe, at a store. Mm-hmm. The store owner, who was
Harding, I think,
she was Asian. I cannot remember what her ethnicity was, besides the fact that she was Asian. And if I'm missaying that, my apologies. But she shot her and killed her because she said she was trying to steal a bottle of orange juice, and she wasn't trying.
Latasha Harlins. That's what it was.
I knew it was something like that. Latasha. Okay.
Yeah.
She was not trying to steal the bottle of orange juice, but she said that she wasn't. She shot and killed her. They arrested her. She went on trial. A jury of her peers, as they say, convicted her. Do you know what that judge did? She said that she was going to basically throw out the ruling of throw out the verdict of the jury, and said that she wouldn't have to spend a day in prison because she felt like she didn't
deserve or wouldn't be able to handle it or something.
She wouldn't. Yeah.
Now I'm gonna tell you, I just got a phone call from one of my brothers back home, and matter of fact, he's from the neighborhood over there from 60s. And it's a store over there. If you know anything about that neighborhood, you know it's a market called Buddha Market. It's right down Slauson and going into the Overhills. And right across from Joe's store, you have to know. If you know it, you know it. And he said the owner of the store, the one that shot Latasha Harlin
back in the 90s,
now owns that Buddha Market. So no, I wouldn't go there. But one of my sisters out there went and smashed on her right quick, snapped on her and told her, hey, you don't belong over here. It just went off. But it just shows how that disregard for us as a people. You can kill us and then open stores in our community. You can, you can do what you want to us and then get off.
But
But we do something to one of y'all. You shot in the hand. Nobody died.
And the little boy did it, and they sent it to mama. Why didn't the 17-year-old's mama get convicted? Because he went and she took him. She bought him the AR-15
and took him,
drove him across state lines. He injured and killed, and then he gets off and gets
look like me, and you go over state lines.
A picture with the U.S. Congress people. And nothing happens to his mama, and he was 17.
Look at here. Look like one of us, and then goes to across state lines and pull the trigger.
And now the judge is saying, "Oh, and I might give her more." So here's the thing about, again, remember the article said that it was state, and they made sure to mention the reason is because she is also facing federal charges. You want to know why? Because when she filled out the application for the to get the gun permit or get the gun,
the permit, the carry permit,
that she did not smoke weed. I don't know how they found out that she really do smoke weed, but now they're saying she lied and she's facing federal charges.
I don't understand that part. Here's the thing.
They don't even ask that. I don't even remember. I filled out the application, but I hadn't gotten my permit yet.
You got to remember, she in Virginia. We in Tennessee.
I know. I'm just saying that wasn't even the court. They didn't even ask you, did you drink or smoke?
No, not in Tennessee. Remember. In Tennessee, they might not ask, but in Florida, Virginia, they do. They might ask.
That is crazy to me.
You got to remember, the further east you go, the less they want you carrying the firearms.
But and here's the thing, and again, this is my opinion. I am not one of those people that makes everything about race, but I'm also not ignorant.
Yeah.
And considering the degree that I have the ability to look at. Anyway, yeah. So excuse me. So there are so many things in our society, and I'm talking about American society because I don't know about what people do in other countries. I don't know about American
I don't
society.
care.
There are so many things that are created and based around race, and I think that it's ignorant of some of us who say, oh my gosh, no, it's not. Everything is not black and white. Everything is not about race. But sweetheart, it is. You have a country that were built on the backs of African Americans, Chinese Americans,
how you say Hispanic?
Hispanic, Latino, Mexicano. This country was built and it's being built
on the backs of other people.
On the backs of other people, right? But then there are laws that are being made to target these people. Let's for real look at it. There are quite a few of Caucasian people that smoke marijuana out west, right?
Yeah.
I'm sure there are a lot in the South and the East as well, but we know for a fact that there's a lot of them smoking it out in the West because they just passed a law. Was it Colorado or something?
No, Colorado been passed.
What was that? It's just recent. We just watched a news story on it. I can't
Minnesota.
remember where it is.
I want to say it was Minnesota.
Everybody that was out there
would look like
talking about it. They were Caucasian people, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's fine. But in good old Virginia, you have a form that people fill out to get a gun permit, and one of the freaking questions you ask is about marijuana. Why? Because African Americans have a stigma of being marijuana smokers.
Yeah.
So if I can get you on something, that's just like poll tax. That's just like asking back in the day, they had poll tax. You go vote, you got to pay the poll tax, right? Before the poll tax, it was the grandfather clause. Your grandfather had to have voted.
Yeah.
You know my granddaddy didn't vote. We just was in slavery the other day.
2 days ago.
You know he didn't voted.
Yeah.
So then when that didn't work, then you got to do the poll tax. Then that didn't work.
It's
then
always
you got to be able to read.
Something.
It's always something. The goalpost gets pushed.
If you want to take it back, we can take it further. But you can really take it back further than that.
Okay.
You can take it back to Moses.
Mm-hmm.
What do you want to do? Let's kill all of the Hebrew men because they came outnumbered. Anything that outnumbers,
they want to kill.
Anytime they are outnumbered and threatened, they have to find a way to destroy you. Now what they just did was we're gonna keep them down and so they can't get up.
The they is the people in power, and unfortunately, you can't say that it's ridiculous.
Call it who you want to call it.
It's ridiculous. The people, the powers that be, right?
There is no reason that baby should be facing 18 months in jail.
Because she said, but how did you find out she smoked? I noticed sounds stupid. I get.
I think because they found marijuana
in her house when they went and searched.
Yeah, but here's the thing: that wasn't a federal charge. That's a state charge at best. It wasn't like she was trafficking weed.
Right?
The woman might have had.
Oh my gosh,
she might have had a good ounce or something. But whether regardless, I may not. When I signed that paper, I probably wasn't smoking weed.
Maybe she started.
And then here's the thing: she may not have been, and she might have said, "Okay, well, I got some stress. Mama didn't, went to the hospital. Daddy's gone, and whatever the reason was, she decided her friend said, you ain't got no job. I'm gonna get you high today. I'm gonna get you high. You know what I'm saying? So it's the thing of what difference does it make? You don't know when I've been smoking. It doesn't matter when I've been smoking. I got my permit now. I did what I had to do. Yada yada yada. The problem with it is our society. The people who are considered minorities are always put in situations where we're not getting justice, where we're not getting our due share and our due process. You can call it what you want to call it. You can sit here and say all day long, "Oh no, that's not true. That's not true," but it is. We just showing you different cases in different decades. We're not talking about. This is all right around the corner. This is some consistent stuff. The Harlan situation back in the 90s. You know what I'm saying? That little boy was a few years ago who mama brought him across state lines. You know what I'm saying? 2 total different states, different cities, different times. And we're still dealing with the same thing, and it's making no sense because we as a people are not doing anything to people as a whole. We do more, I think, to ourselves than we do to other people. And people might say, and before you say something that's, don't put in the comments, this is America, you don't like it, leave it. First of all,
I did shot in her left hand and her upper torso. So okay, I knew it was her. So my apologies.
So she got shot in the chest too. Okay, mm-hmm. Well, she lived. I'm not trying to be funny or do rude. I hate that you've been shot, but at the end of the day, whatever you did, we need to figure that part out. And 2, I still don't think that mama needs to go to jail. That boy needs therapy. Because again, you'll lock up the mama.
Hold on, y'all.
What the heck did you do?
I'm sorry. I'm reading this article because I went to the teacher because I wanted to see where she was shot. I knew it was her hand, but I didn't want to tell you wrong information. So of course I already said that the little boy, has emotional issues or whatever. He has acute disability is what they're saying. This is not funny, y'all. So Lord forgive me because I'm not going to hell for nobody. This article says the documents also included more information about a previous incident in kindergarten, where the same child apparently choked her teacher. I am so sorry. I'm gonna pray for these people.
Yeah, but no, hold on. No. He choked.
Wait, I'm gonna tell you. It tells what I'm gonna tell you what the article say. Authority. I am not going to hell for this.
I am so glad they did not arrest me for my kids.
I am not laughing at anybody's pain. I am not laughing at anybody's trauma. I am not. But this authority spoke to that teacher who described that the student walked behind her while she was sitting in her chair. Okay, because I'm saying and placed both of his arms around her neck, pulling down, choking her to the point she could not breathe. I would have took that little boy and slung him across the room.
Let me tell you something. I'm not.
Nope. This is why I used to play school when I was little, right? I was the best teacher. I had some bad kids in my class, little fake kids, right? Little imaginary kids. But as I got older, and by the time I got to high school, I didn't want to teach no children no more. That's not my thing. I did good raising my kids.
I substitute teach.
Bless your
heart.
Let
me tell you something. There's a reason why
that day would have been last.
Let me tell you something. I tell these kids in a minute. I don't have a degree in education like that. Don't get me wrong. I have a MFA, which is a terminal degree, which means I'm qualified to teach collegiately. Them grown people. You put your hands on me. We're gonna do what we gotta do. We're gonna find out who's really bad in here. You're gonna swear you Michael Jackson when I get through. I'm gonna drag you. Now, I don't play with other people, little children. So if I decide to go back and teach, I had already decided I'm teaching elementary and this, that, and third. Because I'm not gonna play with you. Because in high school, you're too close to 18 me to be playing with you. Don't say nothing too slick because I might just forget that you're a kid. That and then it was kind of depressing. I was at a school and some kids got hurt and some other stuff was going on. I just didn't like it. Feeling that kind of way didn't come wrong with the children. You get a relationship with the kids. But yeah, let me tell you something. No, no, don't put your hands on me. I did work at a facility once, and there were juvenile sex offenders, and one of the staff got beat up one day there. Yeah, yeah, I'm not doing that. You're not hitting me, and we just no. I'm not worried about the courts. I'm not worried about the police. I'm gonna beat you like you stole something, and then tell them, look, you just gotta do what you gotta do. I'm gonna take the charge. Bail me out of jail. I see you when I get there.
So the elementary school has placed in the bottom 50% of all schools in Virginia for overall test scores. Minority
Jesus.
enrollment is 76% of the student body, majority black, which is higher than the Virginia state average of 54% majority black, which I said I figured that because as I said, when you watch the news and see the students coming out, that's who you see coming out. Um, yeah.
So yeah, it just no. See, first of all, that this entails why that mother shouldn't be in jail, because this child was dealing with some emotional situations anyway, and they
It's
should have been
more
getting
than
that
just
child some help
yeah, it's more
and
than
that
just
family some help versus you're trying to arrest the mother and put her in jail for stupid stuff and sending him with the great grandfather. First of all, I'm a grandfather.
and I don't
I
know
don't want
how
my
old
kids. I
she
don't want
looks
my
young.
grandkids.
I think one of the articles says how old she is.
She looked like she too.
So I thought it said somewhere, maybe it didn't, but I thought it
She's
said how
not
old
old.
she
See, I
was.
can guarantee you she's under
But she
40.
yeah, she's deaf. So the great grandparent might be the great grandparent might be 40 something.
Yeah, the
You
great
know,
grandparent
they're
at best, maybe a good 60. But I don't
no
want to raise no more
no,
kids.
not 40 something. The great grandparent's probably in their 60s. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So they may
Cause
not
my
be
mom was a great
right.
grandmother.
And so they may not be that old, but still it's a great grandparent. The the thing about this that's disturbing to me is that this child has been failed at different intervals.
And
If the
consistently,
child
it's
choked the teacher in kindergarten, that means that something else needed to
some
take place. Some
interventions.
interventions needed to take
Yep, some
place
interventions
so
need to
that
be
what
done.
happened here wouldn't have happened.
Yep.
Because why did you choke that teacher? Right? It's not just the fact that I would have slung him across the room because
No,
another teacher,
as a teacher, I probably just lost my job.
another
But yeah,
teacher had to forcibly remove him from that. The teacher assistant or whatever it said, the article
yeah,
said,
yeah.
had
That's
to
right.
forcibly
That's right.
remove
I
him
took that.
from that teacher. But again, the question comes: okay, so what happened between before he choked the teacher? Like, what help was he getting? Because you already knew he had emotional issues. Okay, so what did you do to address what he did to that teacher? That he then now goes to first grade, 6 years old, something happens, and then he feels like he needs to shoot the teacher because whatever emotional issue he has obviously was not being dealt
Addressed.
with. So
Dealt with.
how now he's in therapy because here's the thing that people have to understand: when you are trying to get your child help, it's not just you. Oh, you just go get them the help. It's not like that.
No.
They have to test them. They gotta see this. They gotta be doing this and doing that. Now he's getting therapy, but was he getting it before? And I can't fault the mama because when you're dealing with the school system,
I'm gonna tell you like this.
You think that the school system is going to help you, and oftentimes they don't. So you don't want to say anything because you don't want to then end up being the bad parent, and they call child protective services, which they did anyway.
Let me tell you like
So,
this. Y'all gonna probably think I'm crazy. Y'all say this man have been through most stuff than I have. I was third grade. I want to say I was in third grade. My mother had been trying to get me tested for ADHD and all of that, and dyslexic. I am dyslexic. She was trying to get which is fine. I still got an MFA, so call it what you want. Uh, I have dyslexia, and she wanted me to get tested, and the school wouldn't do it for whatever reason. And I was in third grade. I remember like yesterday, a teacher wanted me to sit down, and me, I'm from LA. It is what it is. So I got up and tried to snatch away and walk away, and he snatched me and put me down in the seat. So when he snatched me and put me down in the seat, he slapped me. So when he slapped me, I fired off. I just teed off back. And I've always been little, so I ain't never been scared to fight nobody. you know, but it was because he slapped me. And I went to the office of police all week, and they were doing the thing. I mind you, I'm in the third grade. Oh, you finna go to jail. Never mind, he just smacked me like I was this kid. I don't even know this man. You know, he's not my daddy. He just decided to slap me across my face like I'm gonna, in the face. So, yeah, and today it's still a trigger. Don't slap me in my face to y'all. So, but it was that incident that forced the school's hand to test me to find out I was dyslexic. Otherwise, they were just gonna let me go through school because they don't care. It's not nothing new. This was in the 80s and late. This was in the 80s. So this just shows how they're the same way today that they were then. They don't care. And the reality is, we have to start being advocates for our children and start standing up and saying, "Hey, you're not gonna wait until my kids shoot somebody or they come and hit somebody or do something to somebody. Want to send them somewhere to a detention center or something and send me off to jail because you didn't want to help me get this situation straight." You know, it makes no sense that as a society, we're not being more advocates and fighting for our children. And then the school system is just so worried about money that they don't even care that, hey, somebody's child might be getting lost. I should not have had to get slapped for them to figure this out. You know what I'm saying? And it would give it to go real bad for him. If you know me, you know my family, you know how they get down. But it was, you know what I'm saying, over something stupid. You know, and you wanted the police, you're not, or you're okay as a kid, but
Right.
you're going to jail because you defended yourself.
And see that's what you all of what you just said, and we'll do final thoughts. So this is my final thought. Basically what you said, as a society, it is all of our jobs to ensure that our children are well protected, right? And one of the places that they need to be well protected is school, because we send our children to school. They are at school for minimum 7 hours a day.
The school
raises them because they're with these people 5 days a week from nine, from whatever time in the morning to whatever time in the evening. These are the people that they're with
for 9 months a year.
9 months a year. And it is our 180 days. We've got to be sure that we are active in our child's schooling. We've got to be sure that the teacher is active in their schooling, because if that's why it's important for you to go first day of school when you can. Go first day of school. Hey, I'm going to be late today. Jobs need to be understanding and not threaten people with their jobs when it comes to their children's, when it comes to school. Allow them to go first day. Allow them to go to those parent-teacher conferences. Allow them to go to their first open house night so that you can meet the teacher, see how they're doing. How's my child doing? I talked about this morning on something I did. And my daughter, one of them, she was not doing well. And I think so, yeah. She wasn't doing good in like math, science, and English or something like that. So I said, okay. So I bought one subject notebooks, took it to the teacher, said, do you mind just letting me know what it is we need to work on so I can help her too? She was like, yeah, that's one of them. She was like, yeah, but that's because the principal had to get on. But anyway, so she took it. The other teacher was like, yeah, of course, I'll do that. And then the other teacher was a man. And he said, I'm not doing that. I don't have time for that. I was like, oh, bet. Okay. So I let the principal know. Everybody did it but him. And then eventually he still didn't do the notebook. He was very defiant. He was refused to do the notebook, but he did let me know what they were doing, which I don't know what that was about, but whatever. Well, actually, right. Actually, I do know what that was about, but I'm not going to get into it because, you
already think we right. They don't look like that.
And I do. I really do. And it's not even that. But that's what we have to do as parents. We have to be our children's advocate because they don't have anybody else. And if you know that your child's teacher is not doing their job, because I've had to deal with that. I've told the principal, it's not my child, it's the teacher. And they would not remove my child from the classroom, even tried to say that my child was mentally disabled. I couldn't believe it. Took the test, did not fail. She was fine. She was not mentally disabled, but they still wanted to give her one of the people, the classroom person that comes.
She liked to sleep in class a lot.
That was crazy.
But that was because I think she was bored.
She was bored, because she's very smart. So we have to be our child's advocate, and we can't just leave it up to the school to advocate for our child. We have to be that advocate, and it has to be, if you see the parent is not doing it, if you're the grandparent, if you're the auntie, hey, put me on their stuff so I can talk for them, so I can talk for you, so I can go be their advocate and do what needs to be done. Because I think if that had happened, the teacher never would have gotten shot. And that's just my 2 cents. What you got?
I agree with everything you said. Yeah, I think that we have to be more mindful. I don't think that lady needs, that young lady, that child needs to go to jail. I think that that family as a nucleus, as a whole, needs some help and some understanding and some guidance. It's not easy to be a parent. It's not easy today. We come from an age of, well, we got whoopings, so we didn't necessarily care if you told us, well, you're not supposed to whoop your kids. What? Yeah, it sounds stupid. Stop talking to me. I've had teachers tell me, well, you can't hit your kid at school. Well, don't call me. You know, I was saying, you know, you because if I get out when you act up at, if you act a fool in school, I'm gonna get down in school. So I suggest you turn your head and mind the business that pay you. And this ain't it, because see, this is why your kids are shooting people, because they have no fear, they have no structure, they have no guidance, they don't understand consequences because they don't face consequences. When you don't face consequences in life, then you don't understand the ramifications of things that you do. Now this little boy is really upset. He's understanding the ramifications. My mama going to jail. I'm not with my mother anymore. The other little boy who shot his mom, killed his mom over a freaking VR game or whatever it was. He killed his mother, then ordered the game because he doesn't understand consequences, and that's the beginning and the end. Think about it. If you do, people that I understood when I was doing whatever I was doing in the street, I had to be smart about how I moved. Because my mom always told me, to go to jail, don't call me. I also knew, okay, I'm in this hood or that hood, I can get caught and get hurt. I understood there were consequences for things that I did and do. So if you don't understand that basic understanding of life, then you make bad decisions.
And their guns are real. That's
Exactly.
That's a whole.
We had, let me tell you, we had
that's
guns.
The whole thing. And the whole
our kids grew up wearing guns. We had guns in the house. My kids also knew my guns stayed loaded. Don't touch it. You pull the trigger, bullet coming out. There's one in the hole. So I didn't deny that from them. I didn't hide that from them. So with all that being said, we just have to be mindful of how we're moving in the community, how we're moving as a society. And, so let it make sense.
And there you go. So if you have any questions, if you have any comments, whatever, of course, as I said, leave comments. We'll go back. We'll look at them. We'll respond. But remember we can disagree without being disrespectful and rude. Okay. All right. So as always, if you see something going on out in the world and it seems crazy, just let it make sense. So as always, be blessed, be in peace. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you'll know when we have new episodes coming up.
Oh, and by the way, if you get the chance and you need something you need to feed your skin, check out www.justyoursoapcompany.com.
It's 3 W's. W.
Did I say
W? W.
West Side Witch Fold.
JustYourSoapCompany.com. Bath and Body Company, body bars.
I told y'all I'm dyslexic.
Raw African Black Soap, raw shea butter, all the things. Check them out. www.JustYourSoapCompany.com.
Just Your Soap Company.